Alrighty, a Monday Kingdom. So, base and what's Herald? Is guilds? This is guilds. It's got to be guilds. It has guild in the name. Uh, what's going on? So, it then coppers with moneylender. There's not a great way to get rid of estates. Technically, you can stonemason them into coppers and then trash them, but that's quite inefficient. So you're playing with some number of junk cards for sure. Actions, you got Village and Herald. Draw, I think, is just Herald, looks like. Plus buy, Merchant Guild. There's also Artisan for gains. Bandit can gain gold. Stonemason can gain stuff. And what does that suggest? Looks like a middling-ish engine. You want to thin, you want to play some heralds. Losing the herald split, I imagine, could be a bit of a problem, because you only have as much draw as the number of heralds that collide. And, the thinning is okay here. You can get rid of the coppers as a moneylender, but you're going to have estates, you'll eventually have provinces. It's not like this deck is going to reliably connect on herald every single time. I don't think mine is worth it here. You don't really want silver or gold very much, so you'd rather just trash the copper for immediate benefit. You could play with a silver and then have a stack of merchants. That seems pretty good. Vassal, also potentially relevant card here. Minor synergy with Artisan. You can top deck something and then guarantee a vassal hit. Yeah, I think you're playing with a bunch of heralds, 2 to 3 merchant guilds, and then buying provinces like 2 at a time. How to open. 5-2 does not spark joy here, I don't think. Pretty sure this is just moneylender anyway. And I mean, like the threes are all fine and are cards that you want, but it's not like any of them is imperative to open with. So it's just gonna be slightly behind from the get-go. Alright, 4. Yeah, I think just Herald already. I mean, it's not doing very much at the moment. It only has one possible target in the entire deck, which is the moneylender. But I mean, what else are you buying here? There's nothing of urgent concern really to get, aside from play the moneylender, trash the coppers. At some point, you get an artisan. Like, I eventually want a bunch of heralds, and normally a card you want eventually takes the back seat to a card you want now. But there's just nothing jumping out to me. It's like, man, I need X right now. Why is this card here? Go away. Well, that's a bug. Be gone. I sure hope that disappears. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take a silver. That's going to allow merchants to be decent. Bot got artisan. Why does that keep happening? Huzzah. It's actually kind of annoying. I need to know how much money I have. I've never seen this bug before. How much money do I have? 7, looks like. So not enough to stonemason for 2 artisans, I don't think. Unless there's money I'm missing. Yeah, I think it's just 4 plus 3 from moneylender, so I have 7. That's a single artisan. The bot bought a naked stonemason. I don't exactly understand that choice. think I just want the last two heralds here. So the question is, I think the best way to do that is going to be like this. This line gets me a Merchant Guild, which is a card I'm going to want. And it gets me a bunch of coffers already, which is also good. The two downsides are I'm top decking a junk card, which is bad, as opposed to top decking a herald, which is good. And I'm putting a Stonemason in my deck, which I don't terribly much want. I'll probably end up trashing at least some number of estates. Like the Moneylender, I think, is running its course. I think all those copper trashers are me. Could be wrong about that. And so with the coppers gone, turning an estate into copper and then trashing the coppers can be worth it. Again, I don't have any delusions I'm going to be able to efficiently get rid of all the estates. Second Merchant Guild. Second Artisan. How much do I expect my deck to be able to do? Something to think about is Stonemason is a very pile-y card. Oops, did not mean to click that. It is both itself easy to pile from the one buy effect. Like 4 money gets you 3 Stonemasons. So with 8 Stonemasons in the pile, it costs 8 and 2 buys to empty the whole thing. You can overpay by 2 and gain 2 extra Stonemasons on top of the one that you bought. But also the one play effect. You turn 1 artisan into 2 villages or something, and then you pile villages. So games of Stonemason tend to run very fast. That, coupled with the fact that, again, limited to Herald for draw, makes me think I don't need to build terribly big, which probably means 2 artisans is too many. So everything else the bot is doing seems pretty reasonable to me. They got a bunch of heralds, they got an artisan, they got merchant guilds, except that it's skipping Moneylender, which that part seems crazy. I think I'm just going to take a vassal here. It's not asking as much of my deck as a third merchant guild would be. Yeah, out of coppers. So I can afford to do this, I think. How many actions do I have? I'm pretty sure I've got enough actions to play as Merchant Guild, but there's no way to know for sure. How much money do I have? I've played 2 Merchant Guilds, that's 2 money. 2 from the silver is 4. 3 from the Moneylender is 7. 9 with the vassal. I think I have 9 money plus 3 coppers. Why is this happening? Is it? Aha! I was right. So we're figuring out how to get rid of the card. So something about this herald revealing estates is causing them to just get stuck there. How close are we to piling things? Stonemason pile is almost empty. I'm not seeing the third pile quite yet. Merchant guilds could run. Like if I had overdraw, would it be able to pile next turn? Imagine I took a second stonemason and some stuff. Now there's 6 stonemasons left. That'd be 2 buys. I feel like, did I misspeak earlier and say you can empty 8 stonemasons in 2 buys? I feel like I might have said that. You can empty 6 stonemasons in 2 buys for 8 money. If I said 8, which I think I might have, but the answer is 6. Anyways, if I take 1 stonemason now, it would take 2 buys to empty the stonemasons, and then Still not quite sure how I'm incredibly threatening another pile, but like I could stonemason the moneylender into 2 vassals or something. Yeah, I think I'm actually not in favor of doing this estate copper thing. I don't think the game's going to go very long. And so I think I'd rather just kill the moneylender next turn into 2 of the 3 costs. Seems better to me. My big uncertainty right now is, do I want a second stonemason? Not a great card in the deck, but a good card for helping pile out. I think just 1 is probably fine. Yeah, because I'm probably, if there's a pile out that opens up, it would probably involve stonemasons, and so I could just stonemason moneylender stonemasons anyway if I really wanted a second one. So I'm just going to lower one of these piles a bit, I think. How dangerous is that? The bot has 2 merchant guilds and an artisan and a stonemason, so maybe I should be a little bit careful. Definitely going to want province this turn. The bot has trashed a copper. Better late than never. There's the estate again. It's occurring to me that Herald and Vassal have kind of an awkward interaction, don't they? Because Herald leaves the card on top. So if your Herald whiffs, then your Vassal would whiff as well. Okay, time to contemplate. I don't think there's going to be a win from this position. I don't have nearly enough gains, right? Yeah, ain't no way. Let's gain a Vassal. Put a Merchant Guild on top. Play that. And I can take double province here, which means I think I can also afford to lower this pile fairly aggressively. Or I'd rather lower the village pile. I don't know that it makes a big difference either way. They're both alright cards. Okay, well, bottom decked a bunch of heralds that turn. Wish I knew what this last card was. I ought to know, because there's only 1 card left in my deck, but I wasn't paying enough attention on my previous turn to know what I have and haven't played. Obviously the relevance is, if it's an action card, I'd just play the Vassal right now. How many heralds do I have? I should also know that, and I don't. I played 2 heralds last turn? No, I played 3 heralds. There's no way I have more than 6 heralds. So I don't think it's a herald. I say let's not risk it. Okay, good call. Alrighty. So I have the points lead. Can I pile out now? Still feels like this is probably not quite enough, but let's check. A pile out would probably involve buy stonemason for 2 vassals and stonemason for 2 stonemasons. So I need to have stonemasons at 4 and vassals at 2, which means I need to gain 3 stonemasons and a vassal. That's actually not sounding that hard. So if I play the Merchant Guild, I have 3 buys. So I buy Stonemason double Vassal for 5, Stonemason double Stonemason, Stonemason double Stonemason. That costs 13 in total, right? I'm looking at 8 money, 9 money, This seems like it ought to get there if I... Go away. Be gone. Okay, now how do I get this to go away? X? There we go. Okay, so I have 11 now, and we just said a pile out would cost 13. So if I had one more action here, I would have a guaranteed win. I need this vassal to collide with either something non-terminal or a merchant guild. That'll do it. This thing's annoying me. I'm just going to trust that I did my math right earlier. It's a lot of coffers that I'll never get to use. Okay, yeah, main takeaways. I think player 1 advantage was fairly relevant here. Like, this is the kingdom where your deck relies in very large part on the number of heralds you get, and player 1 is always going to have a bit of an advantage in winning a split like that. But the other thing is the bot skipped Moneylender, which I think was kind of a crazy thing to do. Obviously, if the main function of your deck is connecting herald action cards, then you really want to thin out the non-action cards. And like I thought Moneylender was good enough here that it used to obviously open it on 5, and then the bot didn't touch it at all. Seems like the biggest mistake there. And then the last takeaway, obviously, Stonemason, very strong card, very good at piling things, as was on display here. Always gotta watch out for that. But yeah, that's the kingdom. I think this would be more interesting if there were a better draw card.